Omar Khan strikes again. The Pittsburgh Steelers are trading for wide receiver Allen Robinson from the Los Angeles Rams. Can't wait to break down the details with you here on Steelers Talk, this special breaking news edition of the show. But first, this is why you subscribe to the channel, guys. We got breaking news coverage for your Pittsburgh Steelers all offseason long. Every time they make a big move, we are going to have you covered here on Steelers Talk. We're going to have extensive draft coverage next week for the Steelers as well. So if you want the best and most comprehensive Steelers content here on YouTube, gotta do me a favor right now and click that subscribe button right now. So let's get into this, man. Allen Robinson, wide receiver, formerly with the Chicago Bears and last year with the Los Angeles Rams. They're trading for Robinson pending a physical. He will be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's been well reported at this point. But at the end of the day, guys, the trade details are not known yet. We do not know what the trade compensation is going to be. His contract, we'll get into his contract in a little bit. It's getting a little bit up there. It's going to be interesting to see how much the Steelers take on that contract, because it seems like the Rams were just about to cut him before they made this trade. So I'm guessing that the Rams are going to take a little bit of his cap. We'll get into that in just a second. Then the Rams could eat some of Robinson's salary, like we said. So for me, guys, I'm looking at this situation, and it's looking like the Steelers wanted to make sure that they added to the wide receiver room before the NFL draft. Personally, I don't think it takes away the possibility of them taking a receiver probably on day 3 to add to the wide receiver room. But by getting Allen Robinson to add to this group with Calvin Austin III, Deontay Johnson, and George Pickens, I think it gives them a little bit of a security blanket. And like some of the other moves that they've made in free agency, I think that it gives them the freedom to not have to be desperate and go get a bigger slot receiver. So you take a look at the last couple of years here for Allen Robinson. Last year with the Los Angeles Rams, played in 10 games, had a pretty major foot injury that took him out in November. He had to get surgery, and I think that's probably why the Steelers are going to have a physical on Robinson to make sure that foot is okay moving into 2023. He had 3 touchdowns, 339 yards, and just over a first down per catch there at 10.3 yards per reception. And then some of the years before that with the Bears here, 38 receptions in 2021, played a lot in the slot that season in 2021 with the Bears and Justin Fields' rookie season. And then before that, he was arguably a borderline number 1 receiver in the National Football League, man. 2020, over 100 receptions, over 1,200 yards, 12.3 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. And then 2019, also very similar numbers there. He's been a really good player in this league for a long time. The last 2 years, he's had a little bit of trouble separating in man coverage. Some people think that his age is kind of affecting his athleticism, and all that different stuff is really affecting him moving on further into his career. But let me know what you guys think of this trade in the comment section. Grade it for me. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So here's what's going to happen. YouTube's going to throw an ad break your way. It's just the way the platform works, guys. Take advantage of that time by going down to the comment section, find that pinned comment. It'll be right there at the top, and answer today's question. So my initial grade for this is going to be about a C. Now, I don't really know, because I don't know the trade compensation. I don't know how much the Steelers are going to be paying on Robinson's contract. Not much is known about this deal right now, so I'm going to give it a tentative score of C. Once we know more details, I'll give it a firm grade here. But for me, I'm not overly enthusiastic about the trade. I like it. I don't love it, because you take a look at the contract situation right now. If the Steelers end up taking a lot of this is his contract breakdown with the Rams. $5 million of this was already guaranteed by the Rams. So if he's traded to the Steelers and the Rams don't pick up any of this contract, the Steelers are going to be on the hook for about $10 million, which is quite a bit, man. So, he's going to be a free agent in 2025. It's going to be interesting to see how much the Rams pick up here. Maybe take on another $5 million, $6 million, something like that. I would like this deal a little bit more, but the Steelers are going to be taking on $10 million cap hit for somebody that's kind of been a declining player in the National Football League. I'm not sure how I feel about this move personally, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section right now. Give me your one-word reaction to the A-Rob trade in the comment section for me, guys. This is a really big move. I really wasn't expecting this. It's kind of come out of the blue. Omar Khan strikes again here with another very aggressive move here in his first NFL offseason as the Steelers GM. Let me know what your one-word reaction is in the comment section. And for my one word, I've got interesting. I think that this is very, very interesting because, one, we don't know what the contract or the trade details are going to be for Robinson heading to Pittsburgh. Are the Steelers going to be paying all of that cap space here for somebody that's arguably a declining player? I mean, I would really hate that if that were the case, but I think the expectation is the Rams are going to be picking up some of that $10 million cap hit here, and they're going to be splitting that in some way. But then let's see how this affects the draft. I think this completely takes wide receiver in round 1 off the board now. Before, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, maybe Jackson Smith and Jigba, one of those guys maybe would have been an option to bring in as that slot receiver option. But for me, I think by getting Allen Robinson, who's kind of a bigger slot guy, he's played in the slot before. You could probably use Deontay Johnson in the slot a little bit. Of course, Calvin Austin III is going to be a really good piece for you on obvious passing situations there on third down. I think this completely takes wide receiver off the board. I think they might take like a slot receiver, another one, maybe on day 3, like if Jonathan Mingo falls a little bit, maybe Xavier Hutchinson on day 3, someone that's a bigger slot receiver to eventually replace Allen Robinson. I could certainly see that. But I really want to see what Allen Robinson's role is going to be moving forward in this Steelers offense. Because you take a look at the wide receiver depth chart, you got Deontay Johnson, George Pickens as your outside guys. Now you add Allen Robinson here, along with Calvin Austin III in the slot. And I think that Allen Robinson's role, especially if they don't draft another rookie wide receiver, he's going to be that early down, bigger slot wide receiver that Mike Tomlin likes to use on his offenses. You saw it with Juju Smith-Schuster. You saw it with Chase Claypool. He likes having a bigger body in there. Now that the Steelers are moving to more of a power run game, having that bigger slot receiver is going to be really, really important for them and their run game. I think Allen Robinson is a good fit. I think his ability to separate against man coverage has taken a dip significantly over the last 2 years. And, when I look at this situation, I think that the Steelers are essentially getting a worse version of Chase Claypool, right? Chase Claypool is more athletic. He's faster than Allen Robinson. The thing that's kind of the negative on both Robinson and Claypool's games is separating against man coverage. Like, Robinson just hasn't been able to do that at a consistent level over the last 2 years. It's really affected his production. And, I'm just not sure if he's that long-term option as that big slot receiver. Kind of still hoping that the Steelers take a bigger slot guy on day 3, like a Xavier Hutchinson is probably at the top of my list there, maybe around round 5 or round 6 if he falls there. But Allen Robinson, decent piece. He's going to be a good run blocker for you at 6'2", 210 pounds, man. He went to school at Penn State, so it's nice to see him come back to the state of Pennsylvania. I'm kind of a fan of this move, but I'm also kind of not, because I think the Steelers are going to see a lot of man coverage next year. I think they're going to see a lot of blitz with Kenny Pickett, and I think that Allen Robinson's the type of guy that's going to be able to come in, be a decent starter for you, but it's looking like the Steelers are really going to focus in on that run game and Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth, and George Pickens when it comes to the passing game. So give me a follow here on Twitter if you want more Steelers draft, free agency, trade news, and rumors stuff. I put additional Steelers stuff on my Twitter, so you can go give me a follow at Jack_Sperry. I appreciate you, Steeler Nation. This has been a breaking news edition of Steelers Talk. Make sure you click that subscribe button as well. And as always, guys, here we go, Steelers.